Hey, I'm Megan Edwards and welcome to BareTalk. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and that is dating. And specifically, would you date somebody who had kids, or is that a huge no-no for you? I really want to know what you guys think.
But what we think personally, or what I think the world would?
No, I want to know what personal opinion. And then you could tell me what you think the world would.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start. It's interesting because I'm not a fan of kids. Like, I don't want children of my own. Yeah. I mean, 99% of me doesn't want children. Yeah. A 1% of me does. Yeah. So with that being said, yeah, I absolutely would. I mean, I don't think they would get on the way. But then again, I've never tried it. So what the heck do I know? But I would not rule it out for sure. Okay. If there's a good connection, girl.
So you'd be okay with it. It would be okay for you to have a kid in your life every half the time, for example.
This is what I say now, but I mean I haven't experienced that. So I would like to believe I would be okay with that, and I would embrace this child and be like, come to mama. Come to mama. So that's what I think.
Okay, what do you think?
I think a lot of things about that. Like, what I think about myself first, like, I wouldn't mind addressing something that you had said about, it would be nice to have kids around some of the time, and I think as well that it really would be. But when we look at how difficult relationships are, first of all, with the relationship with our partner, to develop that, now you're also at the same time developing a relationship with children. And that's a lot, because we don't really know what the child is going to think about having a new woman now in their life. Like, what were the issues with their mom, and now there's a new lady. It's challenging. I think there could be beautiful things, but we're now trying to develop relationships with kids and with a partner all at the same time.
So that's a no for you.
I'm like, what if you have a phenomenal connection with the person, right? Like, you are getting along great, and the child doesn't get on the way of the feelings and emotions, how you communicate. Yeah. You know, of course they're, I don't want to say a burden, but they're there. They're there. So
yeah, and you're right. You're absolutely right. And there could be really good connections like that. I think too, and maybe I'm speaking from experience, because I have dated a man who had kids. And what I learned very, very quickly, even though I had a good connection with the kids and with him, is that I'm ready to have my partner as the most important person in my life forever. I will never be the most important person in his life, ever, because his kids will always come first, whether they're little or whether they're older. And there's a lot of dynamics in a relationship that's going to either make that work or that's not going to make that work. Because I'm ready to give 100% of me to someone. And he is my priority. That's what would make a relationship strong. What I saw is I will never be his priority. And I understand that. And I would never expect to be more important than his kids. They're not our kids. They're his.
So you'd be okay with that if they were your kids together?
Well, if they were our kids together, we would have established that connection, and we'd all be equally important to each other.
So I think the answer is no, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain the answer is no. You would not date somebody with children.
The answer for me is I've tried it once, and I've I would want more from someone, because I'm ready to give more to someone. And so at this point in my life, I would adopt kids together with my partner, absolutely, or maybe look at having kids of our own in other ways. Maybe I could have some volunteers from the panel on how to make that happen. We'll talk about that if you're saying you want kids. But so for me, no, I have, and I love kids. So I'm a teacher, obviously I love kids, but I wouldn't date someone who had kids before I was part of his life as well.
So then what would you do?
4.5 years ago, it would have been a hard no. Was not a fan of kids. They're just cesspools of disease, and bacteria.
Which is kind of true.
It's still true.
Yes.
But now I have a 4.5-year-old nephew, and I've never loved anyone or anything more than that little boy. And the love I have for my brother is so substantial, and I find a romantic love with a partner, their kids is just an extension of that love. And parenthood is such a phenomenal job. It takes so much hard work. So yeah, now I would definitely consider it, yeah.
I agree on the extension so much, because I strongly disagree with people that are like, once we have children, all the love goes to the kids. No, you need to show to the children that you're going to have how much you love one another. You are a different priority than what your child is. So if my husband or partner, whatnot, chooses somebody else, over me? No. You love your child differently, you love me differently.
Honestly, I dated somebody with a kid, and it was so hard. So I understand what you guys are saying about having, they're an extension of the person you love. They're also an extension of the person you don't love and you don't like at all in some cases, and that is, for me, the biological mom. I struggled a lot. I really tried really hard to get along with her. I would message her and try and I tried to hang out with her because it was hard. I never really wanted kids anyway. And then all of a sudden I had a kid there 50% of the time. And then when she made life difficult for me, I was just like, no, I don't like this. Even though we had a great connection at the time, me and the guy, we started struggling because we had her, and then we had this kid that eventually I started to feel like I will never be able to move from Vancouver because he has to stay here for his kid. I will never be able to do this. And I started to resent the whole situation. And you know what? I tried my best to be a good stepmom. I was a stepmom for like 3.5 years. I tried really hard. He was 2 when I started, and he was 6 when I left. And he was a really good kid. If I had a kid of my own, I'd want him to be like that. He was such a good kid, and I tried really hard, but I just did not have it in me to raise someone else's kid. If it was my sister's kid, that'd probably be different. It'd be a very different feeling. But yeah, no.
That's okay.
That's
yeses
the answer.
and 2
No,
no's.
I will not be dating anybody with kids in the future.
Okay, all right.
So, if you want to hear more, see more, make sure you click on our social media. All the links are below. I'm Megan Edwards, and that was BareTalk.